Hi everyone, my name is Kasunat Tanapola, Product Manager for IBM Cognos Analytics, and welcome to our latest release, Cognos 11.2.0. Now, our vision at Cognos is to become your AI co-pilot with an integrated, easy to manage, and extensible data and analytics platform powered by IBM Cloud Packer Data. And being an AI co-pilot means making our customers faster and smarter, helping our customers become more confident in their data insights, and also allowing our customers to go further and beyond BI when needed. Our latest release, 11.2.0, packs a number of capabilities that falls within each of these themes. And to talk about how we're making you faster and smarter, I'm going to hand things over to Matt.
Hey everyone, Matt Denham here, and I'm on the product team for Cognos Analytics, and I'm excited to talk to you today about 11.2.0. In times of major change, speed is an essential ingredient to outperform the competition. That's why we made finding insights faster and smarter in Cognos Analytics with AI-infused self-service capabilities. In other words, uncovering the I don't know what I don't know. We're aligning our investments on AI-infused self-service from data prep, dashboard creation, dashboard exploration, to report consumption. Out of the box today, we offer augmented analytics, AI-assisted data prep, insight generation, insight explanation, NLG, NLQ, forecasting, what-ifs, and more. Let's take a look.
First off, let's talk about performance. We focused a lot on improving performance in the dashboard load time. I think what you'll see in 11.2.0 is just how quickly dashboards are able to load. Let's take a look at an example that we used to set benchmarks here internally. As I look at the picture-in-picture, I see 11.1.7 in the upper right corner compared to 11.2.0 taking the mainframe. You can see how even as the 11.2.0 has started to load, I've already loaded all of it. It's that fast. And if you compare that to what you see in the upper right corner, we're still in the process of trying to fetch data in 11.1.7. This is a huge advantage in 11.2.0 and just a great example of the strides that we've made. And now let's talk about the new visualizations that have come as well. We've got two new exciting visualizations to add to the dashboard. First, let's take a look at the radar chart, which I have here in the top half of my dashboard. You can use a radar visualization for comparing multiple quantitative variables. The radar visualization shows which variables have similar values, or if there are any outliers amongst each variable. Radar visualizations are also useful for seeing which variables are scoring high or low within a dataset, making them ideal for displaying performance. And we can compare that to the new box plot or box and whisker. You can use box plots for identifying outliers and for comparing distributions. You can create a box plot to show the median, quartile, and outlier, as well as extreme values for each variable. There's just a ton of information here that you can use to help understand your data even better.
Many of you have been enjoying using the amazing AI capabilities of the Assistant for some time now. That is, unless that you rely on OLAP or multi-dimensional data sources. But in Cognos 11.2.1, we've added support for that. You can see here, I'm creating a dashboard from a multi-dimensional source. Here's the data in the data tree. And let's open the Assistant and start asking some questions of this data. I'm going to start by asking for total gross profit. And you can see that the Assistant is working away, accessing my OLAP multidimensional data, and it's giving me a chart, and I can just drag and drop that onto the canvas. And I can ask all kinds of other questions. Let's do revenue by quarter. And the Assistant is going to give me a line chart, a chart over time. It's detected that as a time dimension. And let's drag that onto the canvas as well. Now, the other new feature that we've made available for OLAP multidimensional data sources is our forecasting capabilities. This is the same industry-leading forecast capability that we have in previous versions of Cognos automatically evaluates multiple algorithms and supports seasonality as well. The other amazing capability of the assistant is the ability to create a dashboard automatically. Just by identifying a couple of fields in my data, I can have the assistant smartly create a dashboard with a variety of charts using related fields to give me an automatic dashboard. It's as simple as that. I want to tell you about an incredible new AI technology built right into Cognos 11.2.1 called Watson Insights. When I use the assistant and I ask a question like to have it tell me about revenue, and Watson detects something unusual about the data, it's going to highlight that automatically in a Watson Insight. These are not things that you'll necessarily see every day. They're only things that are particularly unusual in the data that Watson has triggered on. Here, Watson Insights has told me that my revenue is actually well below my target by quite a substantial margin. And of course, just like any other visualization that comes out of the assistant, you can just drag and drop it right onto the dashboard.
Hi, it's Rachel Su here, Product Manager for Cognos Analytics. If you want to take advantage of opportunities created by data analytics and AI, you need to start trusting them. Cognos maintains the gold standard for enterprise reporting, manageability, scalability, and governance. It is important to remember that all the self-service and AI features found within Cognos Analytics are built upon this foundation. So you can be confident that everyone across your organization should be empowered with the right data to make the right decision at the right time.
Cognos Analytics reporting has added 2 more report style reference reports, Carbonx Light and Carbonx Dark. When a theme, which is a style reference report, is selected, all the objects added to the report will have the style nicely applied and done automatically. We have moved all the toolbar menu items outside of the application bar into the application itself. The Run button now will remember the format option that's last selected and automatically run with that format option. Here is an example of a report that's authored using dark, and here is a report that's authored with light theme. We have also added support for expression-based baseline. Now, report authors can use advanced calculations functions to create baselines that are dynamically changed based on conditions. The baseline dialog has been updated to include 2 different types of baselines, query calculation and layout calculation. We still also support categorical index, numeric value, and percentage on axes as baselines. We brought the support of our PDF drill-through into different browsers, Firefox and Chrome. Here is an example of a PDF drill-through from source to target using Firefox browser. Here is the same report, opening in PDF format and perform a drill-through using Google Chrome. The same functionality exists also supported in Chromium Edge. We now also support S3 storage for SSL certificates import. Our customers are no longer limited to import SSL certificates through command line utility on file system of Cognos servers.
This is Tim from the Cognos Product Management team. In these times, it's more important than ever to be able to see beyond the horizon. So your analytics solution needs to see further as well. We've accomplished this in Cognos 11.2 by going above and beyond traditional BI with new seamless integrations and expanded data source reach. To show you, I'm going to hand it off to Kaz, and he's going to tell you about a game-changing new integration that we're debuting in Cognos 11.2.
Thank you, Tim. We know that AI and BI worlds are colliding, and now more than ever, it's important that data scientists and business analysts work better together. In Cognos Analytics 11.1.7, we released phase 1 of our integration with Watson Studio that allowed Watson Studio users to connect to Cognos data sources, do some Python and R-based analysis, and push data results back into Cognos. With 11.2.0, we're happy to introduce phase 2 of this integration. With 11.2.0, Cognos users can import Watson Studio notebooks directly into Cognos, view these notebooks, and even embed output cells from these notebooks directly in reports and dashboards. Let's see how it's done. And step 1 is to configure your Cognos environment to point to Watson Studio environment. To do that, you can go into your Manage tab over here, go into Configuration, System, Environments, and then over here you can add your Watson Studio URL and your Watson Studio API key. Now, once users have been given Watson Studio permissions, if you were to go into your Content nav, under the External Content tab, you're going to see a Watson Studio Notebooks folder. Once you click this folder, you can go ahead and browse all your projects within that Watson Studio environment. In this case, we're going to browse to a Watson Studio Cognos demo project. And now we can view all the notebooks that are within this project folder. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and click on a notebook of interest. And then I can go ahead and import that into a defined Cognos folder. And now once I import this notebook into that folder, in this case, in Team Content, all the permissions and governance that applies to this folder is now automatically applied to this notebook. Now as a Cognos user, I can go ahead and preview this notebook directly in Cognos Analytics. And then if there's an output cell that I really like to embed in a report or dashboard, I can go ahead and do that as well. So let's go into our sample dashboard over here. Go into edit mode, create a new tab. And now I will go into the widget section, add an advanced widget. And from over here, I'll go ahead and select my notebook. Now in this case, I'm going to go ahead and select a Watson Studio notebook. That's the notebook we just imported into Cognos. And through the browse window here, I can go ahead and preview all the output cells within this notebook. And now if there's an output cell of interest that I want to embed within Cognos, I can easily select that and embed it directly in a report or a dashboard. And what's important to note here is that the imported notebook and the embedded output cells here are live links to the original notebook in Watson Studio. This means the imported notebook and the embedded output cells will refresh when the notebook is rerun. The timestamp that you see over here will tell us the last time this notebook was refreshed, so you could easily tell how fresh the data is in this widget. Now, the ability to import and embed Watson Studio notebooks into Cognos is available on-premise and on cloud dedicated today. In the case of cloud, you will need to create a ticket with IBM to go ahead and set up that initial configuration to Watson Studio. In summary then, this full integration with Watson Studio will allow business users to infuse the power of advanced analytics and data science into operational reports and dashboards. By bringing data scientists and business analysts together, we're breaking down traditional silos and encouraging high participation, high visibility, and smarter decision making.
Now, I want to show you the new user experience in Cognos 11.2. Part of enabling users to use Cognos to see further with their data means having a best-in-class user experience, and that's something that we have built into Cognos 11.2. Here's the new Cognos 11.2 homepage. It's built using the IBM Carbon 10 design system. You'll see this same look and feel throughout other IBM products, including Planning Analytics, Watson Portfolio, Cloud Pak for Data, and others. This design system brings a very clean, modern, and intuitive user experience to our product, which you can see here on our new homepage. At the top, you've got this welcome section, which is really geared towards new users and helping them to get started. From here, they can watch a video that introduces the main features in Cognos. They can take a product tour to walk them through step by step, things like creating a dashboard or working with Explore. And of course, at any time, if the users don't want to see this anymore, they can close it with the option to re-enable it later at any time. Further down the page, we've got the quick launch section. This gives you easy access to being able to create new content with Cognos. For example, single click to upload data, prepare data, or explore, or present data. And when there's multiple options, like with present data, you get this dialog popping up to let you choose, for example, to start creating a dashboard right from here. You can collapse this, of course, if you don't want to see it. And also this adapts based on the user's capabilities. Not all your users, for example, will have permission to upload data. So that will be invisible for users that do not have that ability. Let's continue down the page, and we have the Get Started section. This is an incredible resource to learn more about how to use Cognos. Again, we've got links to videos, but we've got a much broader catalog here. We have a total of 7 videos on a range of topics, from getting started all the way through creating various types of assets like dashboards, reports, and even on our new mobile app as well. You've got a link to the Accelerator Catalog, which you can launch from here. The Accelerator Catalog, of course, is a treasure trove of content that you can leverage. You can view all kinds of sample reports and dashboards on there, but also things that you can download, such as custom visualizations, so the wide variety of new viz types that you can install into your Cognos instance, and also extensions that you can install into Cognos as well to enhance its feature set. Learning resources is a pointer to the Learn pane. This was launched last year in Cognos, and it's still here and better than ever in Cognos 11.2, powered, of course, by Watson Discovery. It lets you search not only through our documentation, but also lets you search our community and our YouTube channel as well. And then finally in this section, you've got access to samples, which you can view either by feature, by industry, or just go browse through all of the samples. Also on the homepage, you've got the Recents tab. This works much like the Recents tab in Cognos 11.1, where you can see all your recently accessed assets. In this tile view, you can fit a lot more on the screen than before. And Cognos will remember what tab you were on last. So if you find that the Recents tab is where you want to go to most, and this is the tab that you last used in your session, then the next time you log in, this will be the tab that's active. So if you don't use the Getting Started tab that much, that's fine. You won't have to look at it because you'll always be taken back to the last tab that you were on. Let me highlight a few other changes as well. You've got global access at all times to search from up here in the main banner. And you can access saved searches that you have already saved as well. Over at the top left of the screen, you've got the Hamburger Menu. This is a critical navigation tool in Cognos 11.2. Whereas previously we had a toolbar down the left-hand side with some elements that would change time to time based on where you are in the product. The Hamburger Menu is a constant place where you can find global functions such as creating new asset types, uploading files, accessing your content, accessing your recent content, and manage and admin functions as well. So let's look at accessing content, because that's also an incredible new design that we have in Cognos 11.2. You'll see here that instead of the slide out panels that we had in previous versions of Cognos, we now have a full page view where you can browse your content, both my content, team content, and samples, as well as if you had a custom folder, that would also appear here as well. You have a tile view where you can see we fit a lot more on the tiles than before. We've got badges that indicate the file type. If you had descriptions on any of these items, the descriptions would appear here too. We've also got the list view where you can see a lot more. Obviously, this will accommodate very long file names without any truncation. And if you've got long lists of files in your folders, you can simply configure the row size. If you want to see more, go to short. If you really want to maximize the amount of information that you see in your content view, go to compact. And you can just fit a ton on here on your screen without necessarily having to scroll. You've got your filter options where you can filter by keywords as well as type and modified. You've got your sort options, the ability to create a folder right from here. Create web links as well is easy. A refresh button is actually a new feature that we didn't have previously. As in previous versions of Cognos, now you can hit the refresh button to see any changes that have happened in a folder, perhaps by another user. You've got quick access to uploading data, and as well quick access to creating new asset types. Now back to the tabs. One thing that's important to note is on any of these tabs, and this applies to the homepage tabs as well, we remember what tab you were on last. So if you're concerned that perhaps you use team content more than my content or vice versa, remember that Cognos will go back to this tab the next time that you launch it. So if you never use my content, if you always use team content, that's fine. This is the tab that's going to be your default from now on. And it's the same applies to the homepage as well. The Get Started section is something that you may not find useful all the time. You may prefer the Recent section, which is really just a view to your content of the most recent items. Works much like it did in Cognos 11.1. And it'll remember this tab as well, so that the next time you log into Cognos, it'll take you back to the Recent tab. Let's take a closer look at the search again. And I'll type in a search term here, like sales. Search is also full screen. Again, much nicer way to see your content without having to rely on relatively small panels. You can save the search for future use and apply a filter to the search this way as well. Another feature in the new content navigation is the details panel. When you select any item, you can open up this details panel on the right-hand side of the screen. This gives you access to some basic metadata, as well as the ability to rename and share the item, access the full properties of the item, and then there are different actions on here based on what type of item that you currently have selected. So I have a data module. My default action is to edit that, but also I have this create button where I can create something like a report or an exploration directly from this data module. What's neat about the Details panel is as I click onto different items, the Details panel updates automatically to whatever item I click on. So you can keep this open really at all times if you like and find it useful. You'll also see this blue toolbar that appears when an item is selected. This again gives you handy access to the most common functions. As you multi-select items, the toolbar updates itself based on those multi-select actions. In list mode, of course, you can continue to use the keyboard to multi-select, or you can multi-select using the checkboxes. I also want to talk about customization of the home page. Of course, not all organizations will want to see the IBM design look and feel. They'll want to customize it with their own branding and colors, and you can do that in quite a variety of ways. In the Welcome section, you have the ability to add your own logo, both at the top left and in a larger image at the right. You can change all the text as well with your own welcome message and description. The quick launch tiles can be customized in two ways. Using role-based customization, you can disable certain tiles based on role. And then using our extensions mechanism, you can create new tiles to launch your own actions backed by JavaScript code. For example, if you wanted to have a tile to launch a new browser window with a certain URL, you could do that. Down at the tabs, you also have extensive control because you can create your own custom tabs. These tabs can either point to certain folders in your content, or they can contain custom JavaScript code. And that custom JavaScript code could embed anything that you like. For example, you may have a news feed that you want to show, or you could actually use the embedding capabilities of our reports or dashboards to have, for example, here a report visible right on your homepage. The sky is really the limit in what you can do here. You also have our theming capability carried forward from Cognos 11.1 to customize colors for the banner, for example. Also, please note that your extensions from Cognos 11.1 continue to be supported in 11.2. You will not have to make changes to your extensions. They will work as is. The UI changes extend beyond just our homepage and content navigation as well. Though not as radically different, you will find some great improvements to the user experience throughout dashboards, data modules, exploration, and reports. One thing that we've done is we've created a clear separation between controls that are specific to a particular component like dashboards versus those that are global. Anything global, such as the Hamburger Menu, the search, user menus and other menus, and the switcher for switching between open assets, those all appear on the dark background. Everything that's specific to the application, in this case dashboards, appears in a secondary toolbar in white here. So for example, this is where you can toggle between edit mode and consumption mode in a dashboard. This is also where you would access the Save As function as well. And note how the assistant is right here at the top left for you to access at any time. And that's the new Cognos 11.2 user experience. We're so proud of all these changes that we made a video about it. So let's take a look at that now.
Get the most out of the new Cognos experience. With Cognos Analytics 11.2, we have made working with your data easier than ever. From our new global navigation and homepage to the completely overhauled content browsing and the fine-tuning in components like dashboards, the new Cognos experience is both intuitive and beautiful. As soon as you log into Cognos, you'll see big changes on the homepage. We've added quick launch tiles that let you instantly start creating with Cognos. And the Getting Started tab gives you one-click access to everything you'll need to get to know Cognos, like samples, videos, documentation, and the Learn pane. No matter where you are in Cognos, you'll have access to the Hamburger menu at the top left of the screen. From here, you'll be able to create any kind of new asset, browse through your existing content, view recent content, and manage your Cognos instance. We've also made search available in the top banner, so you can access it from anywhere, at any time while you're in Cognos. We've made browsing your Cognos content even easier. Just pick Content from the Hamburger menu, and you'll be in our new full-page content view. You can see all the important information about your content at a glance in either tile or list view. And for those of you with lots of assets, you can use compact mode to really make the most of the screen's real estate. Open the Details panel to see more information on an asset and the main actions you can launch. When you click on another asset, the panel automatically updates. You can perform bulk operations like deleting several items at once. Just multi-select using the Shift key or the checkboxes. You'll also see some changes in dashboards, Explore, data modules, and reporting. All toolbar buttons that are specific to the component now sit right below the main banner. For example, here in Dashboards, you've got the buttons for switching between editing and consumption mode, saving, sharing, and more, all in one simple toolbar. There are similar changes in the other tools. Notice how in Explore and Dashboards, the Assistant is accessed from this icon near the top left. Almost all of the Cognos interfaces have been updated to the modern IBM Carbon UX standards. With a web-based UI and many more powerful features, Cognos Analytics allows you to capture the true story of your data, helping you to grow your business.
Speaking of seeing further, let's talk about mobile. So you have multiple mobile platforms to choose from. All the exciting new user interfaces I showed you are fully supported on iPads using the Safari web browser. Of course, we're still supporting our Reports app as well. I also want to talk about our Analytics mobile app. First released back in summer 2020 for iOS devices and cloud, this app now supports Android devices and is available for Cognos Analytics 11.1.7 FixPack 2. And with 11.2.0, it's fully built in with no additional install required. Thank you so much for watching this presentation today. I hope you're as excited as we are about Cognos 11.2. This is the best release of Cognos that we've ever delivered. We know you're going to love it. Please try it today. You can sign up for our free trial and give feedback in our community.